Chris Strickland, the Autopsy of a Cheating Man. I want to do a quick teaching on what it means to be saved by grace. So first of all, grace means that the old time definition of grace is unmerited favor. So that means it's something that you didn't earn, and it's also something that you didn't deserve. So meaning you didn't do anything whatsoever to any type of work that that caused you to receive this grace, and there was nothing that you could do to earn it. Okay, so just to look at a picture demonstration, if you will, from the Bible, one of the best pictures I can think of is the account of Barabbas. Okay, in the account of Barabbas, if you recall, Barabbas was imprisoned for trying to overthrow the Roman government, if you will, and he also killed someone during that overthrow attempt. And so he was imprisoned for that, and he was set to be crucified. He was set to be put to death. He was scheduled for it. It was planned. It was purposed by the authorities to put him to death for what he did. Okay, so I just kind of imagine on the inside of the prison where Barabbas was, maybe he was thinking about what he did. Maybe he was thinking like, man, maybe I shouldn't have took it that far. And he had some people with him that helped him do it. And maybe he was, they were having a discussion like, man, this is my last day or few days or whatever left on earth. Whatever the case may be, But on the outside of the prison, there was a whole nother conversation going on. And the conversation basically was taking the penalty that was deservedly given to Barabbas and putting it on Jesus. Okay, that penalty for what Barabbas did was being put on Jesus, and they had already agreed to put that penalty on Jesus. Okay, so that's what's going on the outside of the prison. Okay, but on the inside, Barabbas has no clue that that's what's going on. Okay, so in a sense, once that penalty is put on Jesus, Barabbas is already free, even though he's still in prison. Okay, because he no longer has the penalty. The only thing now is the good news needs to be told to him. Okay, that information, that penalty is no longer on him, needs to be revealed to him. Okay, so he's free, but he doesn't know it yet. Okay, so now when they come to tell him that good news, they're not going to come they're not going to come and offer him his freedom. They're not going to come and ask him if he would like to be free. Okay, he's free. He just doesn't know it. Okay, so now when they come and tell him, they're going to come and tell him, and he's probably thinking they're coming to get him to take him to be crucified, but they're going to come and tell him, Barabbas, you're free to go. Okay, and he's probably not going to believe it because he doesn't understand how in the world he could be free to go after what he did, knowing what he did. Okay, and then someone has to explain to him what took place without his knowing, what took place, what was already done without him knowing about it. Okay, and someone explains to him that your penalty was placed on somebody else. Okay, and he may not still believe it, but it doesn't even matter if he believes it in that moment or not. He's still free. Okay, whether he knows it or not, he's still free. Okay, even if he stays in the prison, he's still free. Okay, and you know what's going to happen? He's going to believe it eventually because it was something that was done for him by somebody else. It was placed on somebody else. It was done for him. Okay? And as he remains in that prison, let's say he remained in there because he didn't believe it. His crucifixion date has passed, so he's wondering why he hasn't been crucified. And then somebody keeps telling him, man, you're free to go. Your penalty has been placed on somebody else. Okay? So then he finally will believe it. All right? He doesn't have to accept it. He's just going to believe it. Whether he believes it or not at the time, it doesn't change the fact that it was already done for him. Okay? It was already done. But because it was done for him, he's going to believe it at some point. Okay? Now, and notice also that the penalty was placed on Jesus for him and not for every prisoner in the prison. It was specifically for him. It was something done for him. So when they come to let him know, they're not coming to say, hey, does anyone want to be set free by this penalty that was placed on Jesus? No, this was specifically for Barabbas. Okay? So I hope you can see that picture of grace. Barabbas didn't do anything whatsoever. He didn't earn it. He didn't deserve it. He didn't have to accept it. He believed it because it was already done for him. Okay? I hope you can see that picture. Chris Strickland, The Autopsy of a Cheating Man. Get at me.